the first thing that it's bad news because it leads, it's like it feels as if you have been hit by a ton of bricks. It plunges your marriage into crisis. It destroys your trust and sometimes can destroy the marriage. And almost 40% of married couples have been affected by infidelity. That figure in other areas, it can be as high as 50%, but we want to keep it as low as possible in this church. And frustration in marriage is one of the common triggers. And it is important to understand the reasons why a spouse then cheats. And I want you to also to understand that if you are a spouse of somebody who has cheated, don't usually, sometimes people put self-blame on themselves, but it's not your responsibility. Your spouse has got the responsibility to keep themselves out of infidelity. So it's nothing to do about you. Okay, so certain 11 signs that your partner is cheating, and I'm helping you so that if you are doing this, stop it. You get what I'm saying? Because these are things that sort of like make it easier. Number one, changes in communication. When you see that your spouse is no longer communicating with you, spends many days without speaking to you, they are speaking to someone. It's period. They are speaking to someone. Increased interest in appearance. I had one guy who used to come to this church, very scruffy. Then all of a sudden, autanga kungochena. Zvisiri pa budget. You get what I'm saying? Zvisina agreement to, and you get what I'm saying? Tanga upfeka koloni chi. Lo and behold, this guy angane kachi, a side chick angada impress. Not impressing the wife, but impress. So if you see somebody, so Pastor D always says, he's always looking at my clothes. You know, she's always asking. And it's important for you to ask. If kana then gati chena ites. Yeah. Okay. Not good. When you're a gentleman and your wife is looking like a maid. No. We will not allow that. Mese chenai. Okay? If kana mese, let everybody have a Gucci belt then. It can't be one-sided. But we have seen it. And that in itself is, don't say, hey, my wife, I did okchen. Apana mkadza asinga dokchen. Angakanyarara cheti. Ovanze achene because I know bas alright mupe ngao yakachena kuchechi. Are we together there? So that's one thing. Spend more time away from home. This is when you're spending, now you can spend away time from home because of work. But people then find ways of not just spending time away, from home, even when they are home. You understand what I'm saying? Attitude change, lying, avoidance. They accuse you of cheating. You watch your cheat out, you know, so that they create a story. Indifferent, they don't care. Changes in sex life, money issues, changes in technology use. Unaona pa phone pa izwa inonzi password. Yekuti kana iye antombe kangano. Kana iri kuda a fingerprint. Munhu anenge akesa footprint. Ndo pa uchazotora iwe kuti uvhura phone unongochisa kato. You get what I'm saying? So all those kind of things. But these are some of the signs. If you are married, why are you putting a password that your spouse does not know? It just, when you put a signature that your spouse does not know, you are just telling that it's a communication that I cannot be trusted. And there are things that I don't want you to see. The purpose of a marriage is that the reason why we don't sleep with our clothes. No. You are open because we need to be open. Nothing hidden, seeing everything. You get what I'm saying? So including our phone, there must be no secret. Whenever there are secrets, you are likely going to get into trouble. So me and Pastor D, it's open. My phone, it's open to her. She can touch it anytime. And women will touch your phone. will go through your phone. Now, people will say, you hear stupid people on social media. Come on, are we married or what? If you want an unhappy and a bitter wife, then you don't give them access to your phone. If that's what you want, if that's the kind of marriage that you want, where you are just suspecting one another, then don't give access to each other, to each other's phone. You get what I'm saying? So women want to know. And it's because they are the hardest hit. Ask my demon. Amen. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So let them go. So Pastor D still goes through my phone. And I never say, that is nonsense. Am I talking to somebody? Yes. Let her look, let her go through, let her what, and let her ask. That's the openness and the chagodi. So, me and Pastor D, we are telling you how we are living. You get what I'm saying? Okay? And how it's working. Because the moment you put a cryptic chakudi, you are telling me that there's something that I'm doing. If you are bathing with your phone, when I leave my phone at home, do not D, Shanda say phone. When you're coming into town, can you pass by and give me my phone? That's how confident I am. All right? Because you have to safeguard yourself. You have to safeguard yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Your kids learn by seeing you. It is called social learning. There's an experiment which was done where kids were put behind a booth and there was a glass which they could not see. But they could see the adult. So the adult, a door. So the adult, agayona dorere, avade, Peter, Kika. And 15 kids were put into that room. They did exactly the same. And they beat it in the same way the adults did. They were not taught what to do with the door. That's exactly what they did. It's a common experiment in the world of psychology. I've forgotten what it is, but you can Google it. The door and how the kids reacted. They all beat up. How? Because they learn by seeing. When they see you smoking, see you cheating, see you bringing a girlfriend, kumba, see you whatever happening, they will do the same because you have normalized it. Then you start to say, hey, they are just learning it. Am I talking to somebody? Previous cheating is a high risk. So when you have cheated before, then you have to put more guidelines. You understand what I'm saying? So even if you have not cheated, you need to have guidelines. I have not cheated, but I have to put in guidelines. You get what I'm saying? And I've got guidelines that I give myself that are very strict. Very strict. I don't travel alone. I hate traveling alone. I travel with my spouse as much as I can. If I'm not traveling with her, I'd rather have somebody. Anangaripo. Number 3. Are you getting what I'm saying? I don't carry any woman in my car. I refuse, especially in front of the car. Because when you sit, you know how it is. Those dresses, they come like this. And you want me just to drive like this in my car. I don't want to be a prisoner in my own car. Are you hear what I'm saying? Are you hear what I'm saying? And you know how it is. It gets lighter. It's like this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hey. Also, when I pass on, watch it drive. No. You're not going to sit. You're not going. So I always say, so I'm very strict. Look, you knew it was raining. Why did you come without an umbrella? It's not my problem. I'm not Jehovah Jireh. I will save my marriage. I will not save you. I will throw you under the bus. So I will leave you and say, God bless you. Boom. Are you hearing what I'm saying? I am so scared of cheating because it's common. I will not cancel a lady in my Nzindega. If it's Canaribo, the door will be open. I always say, if it's a lady, you go to my wife. If you don't want my wife to hear your issues, then die with your issues. I don't care. I will not put myself at risk. And if it's marital issues, we will call your husband, we will call you, I will call Pastor D, we handle it together, we are a team. I'm safeguarding myself. You understand what I'm saying? When I'm at work, I don't call my people honey, baby. Wake up. Sister Chakudot, sister baby, sweetie. You are not my sweetie. You are Mrs. So-and-so, or you are Caroline. You are not a baby. So in my conversations, it's professional conversations. Because the moment you come from non-professional conversations, you open a door. And a lot of people open a door. You understand what I'm saying? So I work in a feminine environment, but I am very professional, extremely professional. Okay, psychological issues. Then there are relationship issues, problems in the marriage, domestic violence and emotional abuse, physical abuse, financial pressures, lack of communication, lack of respect, low compatibility, people that were married for the wrong reasons. A lot of people marry for the wrong reasons, and I'm going to be speaking it to the singles. You got married because your other friends were married. You got married because you were running away from poverty. You got married because you were sick and tired, or you got married because you had just been dumped and somebody loved you and you just got married. So people get married for all the wrong reasons. And when you're in there now, you say, I married for the wrong reasons, and you find a way in cheating. You understand what I'm saying? So there are relationship risk. So you need to look and deal with this relationship. That's why some of those things we are talking about. Am I talking to somebody? Then there are needs in the unmet person. The unmet needs. Lack of addressing problems directly. If you don't address the problems that you guys are facing, those conflicts directly, you drift apart, and cheating becomes an option. And first it used to be men who were cheating, but now we are seeing women cheating. And the cheating can be revenge cheating, can be actually wanting to cheat and trying to fill an emotional void. It's happening, we are seeing it, I'm canceling it every day. You understand what I'm saying? So you can feel unappreciated either way. Lack of communication, boredom. That's why we are trying to introduce all these activities, the dinners and the chaguri. Kuti musa boyekani. But sometimes when people get married, you are going out and all of a sudden, you are married, and the guy is going out. You are with a fan, you are just bored. The series will end up getting boring because you would have gone all of them. You get what I'm saying? But it's nothing new. You understand what I'm saying? So we must have all these things deal with. Body image and aging is very key. And we see that most men actually start to cheat in their middle age, after the age of 40, and they cheat with younger girls because they want to still prove that they've got something left. Are you hearing what I'm saying? They want to still feel good. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Okay? But all these things are very key. And revenge is now one of the biggest causes that is pushing cheating, especially in women. They are doing revenge. And under two, you know. Secondary reasons, the internet. There's a lot of pornography there. Now, a few months ago, you would find that pipe pornographic material on the internet. And if you would just don't link it. Why won't I'm on a because my world are bishops and things like that. So you will find the bishops. There's somebody posting some indecent. It's not in my character. Zazo, we are saying because the moment you click that link here, pornography, you are now a customer. Vano to mira. Yakadai. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Hello? And now pornography, 40% of all the websites are pornographic. It's a multi-billion-dollar. That's the most business network on internet. It's pornography. Don't play with it. It will kill your marriage. It will put unreasonable thoughts because you want 4 psalms, 3 psalms. Unreasonable, unnatural. You understand what I'm saying? And those appetites, they come from watching it. You know? When we grew up, there was no porn like that. You would see scope. It was just one picture. You get what I'm saying? But now it's raw. Raw. You know what I'm talking about? Yes, we have to speak it like it is. Kudera, there was nothing like that. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And your mind will go crazy. And you want to try it because it brings the appetite. And what will happen is this. You actually cannot get excited when you see your spouse. Some people actually use pornography to excite them so that they can sleep with their spouse. You are in trouble. Because your mind is now cued to unreasonable sexual pleasure. You actually need, in fact, sometimes it can lead to sex addiction. We actually have to admit you in a rehabilitation, just like we rehabilitate people who are using cocaine. Same WhatsApp group. It's called sex addiction. So the internet is bad. Leave it. Better you follow us, and if the temptation is there, switch it off. Put some things that will block. Poor personal boundaries is one of the biggest, So being casual with people. I think that's one. Put limits that are acceptable. Okay? Sometimes cheating does not happen because you want it, but it's because it's goddamn. I've heard people in conversations. Office. Are they in love? No. But they just, so I don't discuss sexual issues with people. You don't discuss your sexual issues with your spouse, with other people. More so with your friend. Because you are feeding them knowledge. That's why you know what sometimes the men actually sit with the friend's wife. Because the friend's wife now knows the weakness and will do. And especially if there's money, people are jealous. People actually want what you have. You're sure somebody wants that man. Hello? I'm just speaking like it is. And these things are from experience, the things that we cancel. Opportunity. Traveling for a long time, serving in other countries, staying in other cities, loneliness, long-distance relationship, blah, 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 and that whole thing. I would prefer for people not to have long-distance relationship. It will not work. You can have it for a time. But 1 year, 2 years, that guy is being serviced somewhere, and probably she's also being serviced by someone. It will not work. Quickly sort this thing out. If you are moving, move together. And shorten that time to very few months. Hey, after 5 years. Now, when you are wronged, when you have been wronged, it's important the cheating in itself is a revelation of other issues that are in your marriage. But sometimes people be thinking that their marriage is clean because people are not discussing and people are quiet and not. So it's a reflection of deeper seated issues which need sitting. So you are not responsible for your spouse making that decision or to cheat, so don't blame yourself. That's number one. Women tend to blame themselves. And women tend to blame themselves when there's sexual cheating. Men tend to blame themselves when there is emotional cheating. And just to say something about the internet, now you can have somebody cheating with somebody, there's no sex, just flirting. But it's emotional. So men are actually more affected by emotional cheating than sexual cheating, but women are affected more by sexual cheating than emotional cheating. But it all affects, it's just not right. You understand what I'm saying? So with the website, with Instagram, all the people that you know from your creche, from your primary school, from your neighborhood, if you have lived in 20 neighborhoods, all of them, they know you, they like you, they want to speak to you, and some girl, they want to rekindle something and things like that. When you say you are traveling to whatever, that same girl also wants to come and see you. Look, I always say, you cannot, if you are a woman, you cannot be friends with me if you cannot be friends with my wife. It's a protection. So guys will come and say, no, she's my friend. There's no friendship. At this age, there's nobody who wants to be friends with you. There's no friendship. You get what I'm saying? You go to, hey, they are my friends. No, they are my friends. One runner. Are you get what I'm saying? And you'll be so shocked at people who are wandera. People that were in the same school, even older, even younger, even chaguti, they like you, they want you, and they are just not telling you. And you are naive. So I say, good, I've got no girlfriend. So in Panons, take to Arama friends, there's no girl on that list. There is no girl. You understand what I'm saying? That's why you are not there. So don't play with this relationship. Then if that is the case, let there be boundaries. Let there be clear boundaries and be quick to introduce your spouse. Yes. This is Chakuti in the same class. This is my wife, my honey. What vango show would tight. Oh, then good. Yes. Hey, I should have married you. You know those kind of conversations. You are creating and opening doors. All right. So what will happen is when there's cheating, you create jealousy. The jealousy is good. Why? Is there something wrong with me? Be it the man, be it the child. They start to look at themselves. Is there something wrong with me? And all those crazy questions which cannot be answered. And those questions are the ones that drive that person into depression or into anxiety because they cannot be answered. I can't even answer them. But one thing I can say is what my father said. My father was a deep Shona person. He says, Makudo mamngechete. There is nothing that is going to happen. Hapana mumwe achete ngezif maiswa magetsi urimu roller coaster. Hapana zvakafanana izvinizvi. Makudo mamngechete. Hapana chimboripo. It's all in your mind. It's all in your mind. There's nothing extra. That's why after wapedza uta sex, what have I done? The thrill yaungonayo was just in your mind. There was absolutely nothing. I'm being very real here. Yes. But if I don't get real with you, who's going to get real with you? I really want to help you. You get what I'm saying? So unresolved jealousy will lead to resentment and will lead to all these kinds of pain. So if you have cheated, then you will have to take steps to save your marriage. Number one, the lying must stop. The lying must stop. The lying must stop, and defending the other person and liking it should what the other person wants is a sudden stop plunge into chaos. After all, they knew you were married. If you don't do that, if you shock her heart for chakuti, it's not going to sit well with the spouse who is going through that. Because I want to be sure, kuti zeshua, right? I say, Japer. So you cannot continue to be friends, talking and what. You also have to be patient with your spouse, because even wakati I'm sorry, as wrote mangwana tato bounce back. It can take 3 months, it can take 6 months for the anger and the resentment to. Sometimes it can take even years. So give them time. Give them time. Give them time. And also, we must stop the blaming game. It's because of you. Those who don't do that, so they should take responsibility. Suck it in. I messed up. I did wrong. It's stopping. What is it that you want me to do? Let's agree. So my job as a pastor is to come up and say, okay, fine, this has happened. Okay, if we are not divorcing, then let's ngati survey this. What shall we do? Guidelines to put. That's my job now. My job is then to come in and Pastor D and say, look, we are going to put in these things which we want done. You're going to stop talking to this chick. You're going to stop talking to this man. I want you home by this. We are going to put boundaries. Because what caused those things were boundaries that were not there or that were not followed. So we're going to put boundaries so that the other person can have a sense of security. And your commitment to those boundaries is what is going to save your marriage. If you don't do that, it's just a matter of time. It's either it's going to be a cry for help or an exit strategy. So somebody can stay in a marriage. I can't just jump ship now. Do not pinda on the streets. So I'm going to pretend as if ndakanganwa, but when the time is right, they say I don't want because of that, because it was unresolved. So when people come to us, I ask them, is this a cry of help or we are just a matter of your exit strategy? Dr. CHIRISA, and so that your story and you put my name to bless your exit strategy. You understand what I'm saying? So these things need to be resolved. These things need to be sorted. But let me say this. You don't have to divorce because a cheating item. The first protocol that we do is to save that marriage. Every marriage is worth to be saved. The marriages that I say they are not worth to be saved, where I say somebody hit, is when you are being threatened, your life is under threat, you are being beaten and having broken bones. If that person does not change, then I will say, go out of that marriage. It's not a marriage. An abusive marriage with physical chagudi and where you are being manipulated and you can go near death. Are you hearing what I'm saying? But mistakes do happen. And I've seen people who have actually had better marriages, after going through that. But you need to know that it takes time and you need to show commitment. The most important is, after that, there must be commitment to the process. But you cannot come and demand, could you trust me because you said, I'm sorry yesterday. It's going to take time. I'm going to be checking. So you gotta, if I'm going to be checking your phone, I want to see where you're going. I'm going to, don't tell me, even if I trust you, just take the location and just send where Gangoti. And the rip on the donor, Ningi Panaba. Security. You are sanitizing Zinu. You don't have to wait to flasher. No, be proactive to show, because you are trying to prove yourself to that person. Am I talking here? Oh yes. So don't wait for your wife to put my demands. You be proactive and say, how can I gain my trust from my husband? How can I gain the trust from my wife? So don't wait for her to say, do that, this. You put yourself in your shoes and say, how would I want this person to act if it was me? And I do it and say, look, you know what? I messed up. But from today, I'll tell you where I'm going. I will discuss. Whenever I am, even in that traveler, I will show you. I'll give the person and so that you know. I just want you to trust me again. You are my wife. I am sorry. I hate you. I love you. I want you, not just for the kids, but I want us to be happy. I want you to be happy again. And I'm willing to go. And above all, you must go before God and ask for forgiveness. Because it's a sin. It's a sin. All right.